Stop scrolling. Your soulmate chose between you and someone else last night. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, because you didn't land here by accident. You were guided here by timing, energy, and something much bigger than coincidence. And take a slow breath with me, because the universe is asking you to pause, to feel, to recognize that subtle pull in your chest that brought you to this moment. And don't scroll, because this message is arriving exactly when your soul is ready to hear it. And listen closely. Last night was not an ordinary night in the spiritual realm. Emotions shifted, intentions were weighed, and choices were silently made. And your heart needs this right now, because you may have felt it without understanding why. That sudden heaviness, that strange calm mixed with tension, that unexpected memory of them popping into your mind. And don't scroll, because those sensations weren't random, they were energetic echoes of a decision unfolding beyond physical conversation. And listen to this, your soulmate stood at a crossroads of emotion, not necessarily speaking it out loud, but feeling it deeply, measuring connection, comparing comfort with truth, safety with desire, and destiny with distraction. And your heart needs this right now, because even across distance, even without contact, soulmate bonds communicate through energy, intuition, and emotional frequency. And don't scroll, because this moment is bigger than curiosity. It's about awareness, growth, and spiritual awakening. And listen closely. The universe has been sending you signs leading up to this moment, repeated numbers like 11. 11 flashing on your screen, songs carrying hidden messages, dreams that felt too vivid to ignore, or random reminders of this person appearing everywhere. And your heart needs this right now, because those were not accidents, they were breadcrumbs guiding you toward this realization. And don't scroll, because what happened last night stirred something in the collective energy of your connection, and you are feeling the ripple effects now. And listen to this, your soulmate felt emotional pressure, not from the outside world, but from within, that inner voice asking them what they truly want, what they're running from, and what they're afraid to admit. And your heart needs this right now, because deep down, you already sensed that something was changing, even if you couldn't explain it logically. And don't scroll, because spiritual shifts often arrive quietly before they show up physically. And listen closely. This choice was not just about romance, it was about alignment, about whether they were ready to step into growth or remain comfortable in familiar patterns. And your heart needs this right now, because your own growth has been accelerating too, making this moment unavoidable. And don't scroll, because when two souls evolve at different speeds, the universe creates moments of decision to restore balance. And listen to this, you may have woken up feeling different today, lighter, heavier, emotional, reflective, or unusually calm. And your heart needs this right now, because that emotional shift is connected to what unfolded energetically. And don't scroll, because your intuition has been trying to speak louder lately, nudging you toward clarity instead of fantasy, truth instead of illusion. And listen closely, the universe is not here to hurt you, it's here to guide you toward alignment, even when the truth feels uncomfortable at first. And your heart needs this right now, because alignment always leads to peace, even if the path there feels uncertain. And don't scroll, because your soulmate's choice last night was not the final chapter, it was the opening of a new phase, one that will reveal whether this connection transforms, releases, or evolves into something deeper. And listen to this, you are not powerless in this moment. Your energy, your healing, your self-worth all play a role in what happens next. And your heart needs this right now, because you are being asked to step into your highest version, not chase, not beg, not overthink, but trust. Align, and stand firm in your value, and don't scroll, because the universe is watching how you respond to this moment, and your response shapes what unfolds next. And listen closely, there is more to this story, more to this decision, and more to what it means for your future, and your heart needs this right now because part 1 ends here intentionally. Right before I reveal what choice was energetically made and how it will directly impact your soulmate connection moving forward. Stay here with me, because the second phase of this message reveals the emotional weight behind the choice that unfolded last night, and this message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, because what happened was not casual, it carried depth, hesitation, vulnerability, and inner conflict that your soulmate has been carrying quietly for a long time. And listen closely, the decision was not made from logic alone. It came from an emotional battle between comfort and courage, familiarity and growth, fear and truth. And don't scroll, because your soulmate felt torn, standing between what felt easy and what felt real, between routine and transformation, between staying emotionally safe and stepping into vulnerability. And your heart needs this right now because you have also been standing in a similar emotional space, questioning signs, interpreting silence, and feeling shifts you couldn't fully explain. And listen to this. Last night your soulmate replayed memories, moments shared, conversations unfinished, and feelings left unsaid, and those reflections stirred something deeper than surface attraction, awakening emotions they tried to bury. And don't scroll, because emotional awakening doesn't ask permission, it arrives suddenly, forcing honesty. And your heart needs this right now because honesty changes everything. And listen closely. Your soulmate felt the pull of your energy even if you weren't physically present, sensing your growth, your independence, your strength, and that awareness created internal pressure, because when one soul evolves, the other must either rise or retreat. And don't scroll, because this moment is about whether they are ready to match your emotional frequency or continue operating from avoidance. And your heart needs this right now because you deserve alignment, not emotional tug-of-war. And listen to this. The universe has been orchestrating circumstances to bring this moment forward, placing them in situations that forced comparison, reflection, and evaluation of what truly matters. And don't scroll, because divine timing doesn't rush, it prepares. And your heart needs this right now because preparation leads to clarity. And listen closely, your soulmate felt the contrast between surface connection and soul-level resonance, realizing that not every bond carries depth, meaning, or emotional safety, and that realization created discomfort. Because growth always challenges comfort zones. And don't scroll, because discomfort signals transformation, and your heart needs this right now because transformation is necessary for destiny to unfold. And listen to this, your soulmate experienced emotional tension, the kind that tightens the chest, quiets the mind, and forces deep introspection. And that tension was the universe asking them to choose authenticity over convenience. And don't scroll, because authenticity leads to freedom, while convenience creates stagnation. And your heart needs this right now, because stagnation has been holding this connection in limbo. And listen closely, the choice was not finalized in the physical world yet, but energetically, a direction was set, and that direction will soon reveal itself through actions, communication, or silence. And don't scroll, because energy always manifests into reality. And your heart needs this right now because awareness allows you to prepare emotionally instead of reacting impulsively. And listen to this, your soulmate felt fear, not of you, but of vulnerability, of accountability, of stepping into emotional responsibility. And that fear created hesitation, but it also sparked awareness. And don't scroll, because awareness is the first step toward healing, and your heart needs this right now because healing opens the door to mature connection. And listen closely, your soulmate questioned whether they were ready to show up fully, to offer consistency, to meet you emotionally instead of hiding behind excuses, and that internal conversation is still unfolding. And don't scroll, because this is a pivotal phase, and your heart needs this right now because your energy influences how this story continues. And listen to this, the universe is watching how you respond, whether you remain grounded, confident, and aligned, or slip back into doubt and emotional chasing. And don't scroll, because your response carries power. And your heart needs this right now because you are not meant to lose yourself for love, you are meant to grow through it. And listen closely, your soulmate felt admiration for your strength, your independence, your resilience, and that admiration created both attraction and insecurity, because growth in one person highlights unhealed areas in the other. And don't scroll, because healing is uncomfortable but necessary, and your heart needs this right now because emotional maturity is required for lasting partnership. And listen to this, the choice made last night was not about replacing you, it was about confronting inner truth, recognizing emotional patterns, and deciding whether to evolve or remain comfortable in old habits. And don't scroll, because this is bigger than jealousy, it's about destiny alignment, and your heart needs this right now because destiny doesn't tolerate emotional stagnation. And listen closely, you may start noticing subtle signs in the coming days, changes in tone, different energy during conversations, unexpected messages, or emotional distance that reveals clarity. And don't scroll, because those signs will confirm what unfolded energetically, and your heart needs this right now because confirmation brings peace, not confusion. And listen to this, the universe is not here to punish you, it's guiding you toward emotional fulfillment, whether through transformation of this connection or redirection towards something better aligned. And don't scroll, because redirection is protection, and your heart needs this right now because protection keeps you from settling for less than you deserve. And listen closely, your soulmate's internal struggle is not your responsibility to fix, it is theirs to face, and your role is to stay aligned with your worth, your growth, and your peace. And don't scroll, because peace is your power, and your heart needs this right now because power grounded in self-respect attracts healthy love. And listen to this, as this phase continues, you may feel moments of emotional release, clarity, or calm, and those sensations are signals that your soul is adjusting to the new energy pattern forming. And don't scroll, because adjustment is part of growth, and your heart needs this right now because growth leads to freedom. And listen closely, part 2 ends here intentionally, right before I reveal how this energetic choice will begin showing up in real-life behavior and what it means for the next stage of your soulmate journey. Stay with this moment, because the third phase now opens into how that energetic choice will begin translating into visible action. And this message is for you, your heart needs this right now, because what happens internally always seeks expression externally. And listen closely, you may soon notice shifts in behavior, not dramatic announcements, not sudden confessions, but subtle changes that speak louder than words, such as altered communication patterns, different emotional availability, new levels of honesty, or unexpected silence that carries meaning. And don't scroll, because silence itself can be a message, revealing reflection, processing, or emotional recalibration. And your heart needs this right now because understanding these signals prevents misinterpretation and emotional overwhelm. And listen to this, your soulmate may become more intentional in how they approach you, showing curiosity, consistency, or deeper engagement if they chose growth, or they may create Distance if they are struggling with vulnerability, and neither response is meant to punish you. Both reveal truth, and don't scroll, because truth is protection disguised as clarity, and your heart needs this right now because clarity allows you to move forward without guessing. And listen closely, you may sense this shift even before you see it, feeling different energy during conversations, noticing tone changes, sensing emotional presence or withdrawal. And don't scroll, because intuition picks up on energetic adjustments long before the mind catches up, and your heart needs this right now because trusting intuition keeps you grounded instead of reactive. And listen to this, if your soulmate steps closer emotionally, you may notice increased openness, vulnerability, or attempts to reconnect meaningfully, not through shallow messages, but through real effort. And don't scroll, because genuine effort reflects readiness. And your heart needs this right now because readiness signals alignment, and alignment supports healthy connection. And listen closely, if they create space instead, it may feel confusing at first, but understand this, distance sometimes happens when someone realizes they are not prepared to meet your emotional level yet, and that realization, although uncomfortable, protects you from imbalance. And don't scroll, because protection often arrives quietly. And your heart needs this right now because quiet protection prevents emotional burnout. And listen to this, the universe is guiding you to observe patterns rather than react to isolated moments, to notice consistency instead of temporary gestures, and to measure actions rather than promises. And don't scroll, because observation brings clarity. And your heart needs this right now because clarity prevents you from investing energy where alignment is missing. And listen closely. During this phase you may also experience emotional shifts within yourself, feeling calmer, more detached from outcome, or more focused on personal growth. And don't scroll, because detachment does not mean lack of care, it means trusting the process without forcing results. And your heart needs this right now because forcing outcomes creates resistance, and resistance blocks flow. And listen to this, as flow returns, you may notice synchronicities increasing, such as meaningful encounters, repeated symbols, or unexpected opportunities that remind you life is expanding beyond this connection. And don't scroll, because expansion is the universe's way of reminding you that your world is bigger than one story. And your heart needs this right now because expansion supports emotional independence. And listen closely, emotional independence does not isolate you, it strengthens you, allowing love to be a choice rather than a necessity. And don't scroll, because choosing love freely creates healthier bonds. And your heart needs this right now because healthy bonds bring peace, not anxiety. And listen to this, you may also feel guided to express yourself differently, communicating boundaries with calm, sharing truth without fear, and standing firm in your values. And don't scroll, because expression rooted in authenticity changes relationship dynamics. And your heart needs this right now because authenticity attracts respect, and respect fosters mutual understanding. And listen closely. During this stage you may also recognize old habits surfacing, such as overthinking, checking for signs constantly, or waiting for validation. And don't scroll, because awareness allows you to interrupt those patterns and choose new responses. And your heart needs this right now because choosing new responses rewires emotional habits. And listen to this, rewiring emotional habits creates long-term change, not temporary relief. And don't scroll, because long-term change leads to sustainable happiness. And your heart needs this right now because sustainability matters more than intensity. And listen closely, as this phase unfolds, you may notice that conversations feel different, either more honest, more distant, or more intentional. and each variation carries information about where the connection is heading, and don't scroll, because information empowers decision-making, and your heart needs this right now because empowered decisions protect your energy, and listen to this. You may also experience moments of realization, understanding what you truly want from a partnership, what you will no longer accept, and what aligns with your future vision, and don't scroll, because vision shapes direction, and your heart needs this right now because direction gives purpose, and listen closely. During this phase you may feel an urge to focus on yourself more, investing time in goals, hobbies, wellness, or creative expression, and don't scroll, because self-investment strengthens identity. And your heart needs this right now because strong identity prevents emotional dependency. And listen to this, emotional dependency often disguises itself as love, but true love grows when two whole individuals choose each other, not when one loses themselves to keep a connection alive. And don't scroll, because remembering this truth protects your heart, and your heart needs this right now because protection allows vulnerability without fear. And listen closely, you may also notice emotional triggers surfacing, reminding you of past wounds or unresolved patterns, and don't scroll. Because triggers are opportunities for healing, not punishment, and your heart needs this right now because healing clears space for deeper connection. And listen to this, when you respond to triggers with awareness instead of reaction, you strengthen emotional maturity. And don't scroll, because emotional maturity is the foundation of lasting partnerships, and your heart needs this right now because maturity creates stability. And stability supports trust, and trust allows intimacy. And listen closely, as this phase continues, you may feel a growing sense of calm certainty about your direction, whether that includes rebuilding this connection on stronger foundations or opening yourself to something new. And don't scroll, because certainty brings peace, and your heart needs this right now because peace allows you to rest emotionally. And listen to this, emotional rest is necessary for clarity, and clarity leads to confident choices. And don't scroll, because confident choices shape destiny, and your heart needs this right now because destiny responds to intention. And listen closely, part 3 ends here intentionally, right before the next stage reveals how your own response to these changes will determine whether this soulmate story transforms, releases, or evolves into something greater than before. Remain steady with this unfolding chapter, because the fourth phase now brings you into the moment where your response becomes the deciding force shaping what happens next. And this message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, because destiny does not move only through other people's actions, it also responds to your emotional posture, your mindset, and the standards you choose to hold. And listen closely. The universe is watching how you carry yourself during this transition, whether you stay grounded in self-respect or fall back into chasing validation. And pause for a breath, because this is where power quietly returns to your hands. And understand this, your reaction to recent shifts will either strengthen alignment or reopen old patterns. And your heart needs this right now because awareness creates opportunity, and opportunity allows conscious choice. And listen to this, when you choose calm over panic, patience over impulsiveness, and clarity over fantasy, you send a strong energetic message that you are ready for mature connection, not emotional chaos. And don't look away, because this moment is asking you to rise above emotional habits that once kept you stuck. And your heart needs this right now because rising emotionally allows healthier love to enter your life. And listen closely, you may feel tempted to seek reassurance, to overanalyze messages, or to replay conversations searching for hidden meaning, but Archangel guidance is urging you to step back into inner stability, trusting that what is meant to stay will show consistency without pressure, and understand this, peace attracts honesty, while desperation invites confusion, and your heart needs this right now because confusion drains energy and delays clarity, and listen to this, the way you handle silence, uncertainty, and waiting will determine whether you grow stronger or fall back into emotional dependence. And pause for a moment, because choosing strength does not require hardness. It requires self-trust, and self-trust builds confidence, and confidence reshapes how others respond to you, and your heart needs this right now because confident energy draws respect, not games, and listen closely. During this phase you may feel called to redirect attention toward yourself, nurturing your goals, improving your health, expanding creativity, or simply enjoying quiet moments of reflection, and understand this. Self-focus is not selfishness, it is restoration, and restoration renews emotional clarity, and your heart needs this right now because clarity supports wise decision-making. And listen to this, as you invest in yourself, you may notice your emotional attachment loosening, not disappearing, but transforming into something healthier, less anxious, more balanced, and this shift is powerful, because balance prevents you from losing yourself in the connection. And your heart needs this right now because losing yourself creates emotional exhaustion, and listen closely. You may also recognize moments when your intuition nudges you to slow down, to pause before responding, or to choose silence instead of over-explaining, and understand this, silence can be a form of strength, allowing space for others to show their true intentions through action rather than words, and your heart needs this right now because actions reveal truth more clearly than promises, and listen to this. You may feel a sense of emotional maturity developing, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively, and this maturity will influence how your soulmate perceives you, shifting the dynamic from imbalance toward mutual respect. And understand this, mutual respect is essential for any connection to grow beyond surface attraction, and your heart needs this right now because surface attraction fades, while respect sustains long-term partnership. And listen closely. During this phase you may also experience moments of self-reflection, revisiting past relationship patterns, recognizing what you once tolerated, what you outgrew, and what you now deserve, and understand this, recognition empowers transformation, and transformation leads to freedom. And your heart needs this right now because freedom allows you to choose love without fear, and listen to this, as you release old expectations, you create space for reality to unfold naturally, allowing the universe to reveal whether this connection evolves or gently dissolves, and understand this, both outcomes serve growth, even if they feel different emotionally. And your heart needs this right now because growth always leads toward alignment, not loss. And listen closely, you may notice emotional triggers resurfacing, reminding you of abandonment fears, trust issues, or past disappointments, and understand this, triggers are invitations to heal, not signs of weakness. And your heart needs this right now because healing clears emotional baggage that blocks healthy connection. And listen to this, when you respond to triggers with compassion instead of judgment, you strengthen emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence supports communication, and communication builds understanding, and understanding deepens connection. And your heart needs this right now because deep connection requires emotional maturity. And listen closely, as this phase continues, you may feel a stronger sense of inner authority, trusting yourself to make choices without external approval. And understand this, inner authority replaces dependency with empowerment, and empowerment allows you to walk your path confidently. And your heart needs this right now because confidence transforms uncertainty into opportunity. and listen to this. During this stage you may also feel inspired to establish personal standards, defining what you expect from partnership, communication, and emotional presence, and understand this. Standards protect your heart, and protection creates safety, and safety allows vulnerability to grow without fear, and your heart needs this right now because vulnerability is necessary for true intimacy. And listen closely, you may also notice a subtle emotional calm settling in, even if external circumstances remain unclear, and understand this. Calm is a sign of alignment, and alignment means you are trusting divine timing instead of forcing outcomes. And your heart needs this right now because forcing outcomes creates resistance, and resistance delays clarity, and listen to this. As you continue embodying this energy, your soulmate connection will respond accordingly, either by rising to meet your emotional standard or revealing that it cannot match your growth. And understand this, both responses bring truth, and truth brings peace, and your heart needs this right now because peace allows you to move forward without regret. And listen closely. You may also feel an urge to release emotional expectations about how things should unfold, allowing the universe to guide the process naturally. And understand this, surrender does not mean giving up, it means trusting the flow of alignment, and your heart needs this right now because trust removes anxiety, and anxiety blocks joy. And listen to this, as this phase unfolds, you may experience moments of emotional relief, realizing you no longer need to carry the weight of uncertainty alone. And understand this. Emotional relief signals progress, and progress leads to resolution, and your heart needs this right now because resolution brings closure or renewal. And listen closely, part 4 ends here intentionally, right as your response becomes the catalyst that will determine whether this soulmate chapter transforms into deeper union, conscious release, or an entirely new beginning aligned with your highest good. Remain present as the 5th phase now carries you into the stage where momentum begins forming and your emotional alignment starts producing tangible outcomes. And this message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, because everything you chose internally is about to reflect outward through subtle yet meaningful shifts. And listen closely, you may start noticing small but powerful confirmations that your energy is stabilizing, such as improved focus, steadier emotions, clearer thinking, and a growing sense of inner calm that wasn't there before. And don't look away, because this calm is not emptiness, it is emotional strength building quietly beneath the surface. And understand this, when emotional stability rises, life responds differently, bringing interactions that feel more respectful, opportunities that feel more aligned, and conversations that carry more honesty. And your heart needs this right now because honesty creates clarity, and clarity supports confident action. And listen to this, during this phase you may feel drawn to simplify your life, releasing distractions, clearing mental clutter, and prioritizing what truly matters, whether that means restructuring routines, reducing emotional noise, or focusing on meaningful goals. And understand this, simplification creates space, and space invites growth, and your heart needs this right now because growth requires room to expand. And listen closely. As you create this space, you may notice your soulmate connection responding to your shift, either by becoming more intentional, more present, and more emotionally available, or by revealing distance that clarifies misalignment. And don't look away, because clarity is a gift, even when it arrives quietly, and your heart needs this right now because clarity removes emotional guessing. And listen to this, you may also experience a new level of emotional independence. Not detachment, but strength, the ability to care without clinging, to love without losing yourself. and to remain open without becoming overwhelmed, and understand this. Independence creates balance, and balance allows connection to grow naturally instead of through pressure, and your heart needs this right now because pressure suffocates love, while balance nurtures it. And listen closely. During this stage you may also feel inspired to redirect energy toward personal dreams, creative pursuits, or professional growth, discovering parts of yourself that were previously overshadowed by emotional focus. And understand this, rediscovering yourself strengthens identity, and identity builds confidence, and confidence reshapes how you move through the world, and your heart needs this right now because confident presence attracts aligned experiences. And listen to this, as alignment increases, you may notice synchronicities appearing more frequently, such as meaningful encounters, unexpected opportunities, or timely messages that feel guided. And don't look away, because synchronicities are confirmations that you are moving in the right direction, and your heart needs this right now because confirmation strengthens trust, and trust supports peace. And listen closely, you may also feel motivated to establish healthier boundaries, choosing how much energy to give, when to engage, and when to step back. And understand this, boundaries are not barriers. They are filters that protect your emotional well-being, and your heart needs this right now because protection allows vulnerability without harm. And listen to this, as you honor your boundaries, you may notice changes in how others interact with you, offering more respect, clearer communication, and stronger accountability. And understand this, respect grows when self-respect is visible, and your heart needs this right now because respect is the foundation of meaningful connection. And listen closely. During this phase you may also experience emotional release, letting go of expectations, disappointment, or lingering attachment to specific outcomes. And understand this, release is not loss, it is liberation, and liberation allows fresh energy to enter your life, and your heart needs this right now because fresh energy supports renewal. And listen to this, renewal may show up as new ideas, new motivation, or new emotional clarity, guiding you toward decisions that reflect your growth. And understand this, growth requires movement, not stagnation, and your heart needs this right now because movement creates momentum, and momentum accelerates transformation. And listen closely, as transformation continues, you may find yourself responding differently to challenges, approaching situations with patience instead of frustration, curiosity instead of fear, and understanding instead of defensiveness. And understand this, emotional maturity reshapes conflict into communication. And your heart needs this right now because communication builds trust, and trust deepens connection. And listen to this, during this stage you may also experience improved intuition, sensing alignment through subtle feelings, inner nudges, and emotional awareness. And understand this, intuition becomes stronger when you stop ignoring yourself, and your heart needs this right now because self-awareness protects you from misaligned choices. And listen closely, you may also feel more comfortable with uncertainty, trusting that not everything needs immediate answers, and understanding that some truths unfold through time. And understand this, patience builds resilience, and resilience supports long-term fulfillment. And your heart needs this right now because fulfillment comes from consistency, not impulsive excitement. And listen to this, as consistency strengthens, you may notice emotional patterns changing, less overthinking, fewer anxious thoughts, and more grounded reactions. And understand this, grounded reactions create emotional stability, and stability allows you to handle transitions with grace. And your heart needs this right now because grace supports inner peace. And listen closely, you may also feel a renewed sense of gratitude, appreciating lessons learned, growth achieved, and strength gained, and understand this. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to abundance, and abundance attracts supportive experiences, and your heart needs this right now because supportive experiences accelerate alignment. And listen to this, as alignment deepens, you may feel inspired to help others, share encouragement, or offer wisdom drawn from your own journey, and understand this. Contribution expands purpose, and purpose brings fulfillment, and your heart needs this right now because fulfillment nourishes emotional health. And listen closely. During this phase you may also recognize that your soulmate connection is no longer the sole center of your emotional world, becoming part of a larger life picture that includes growth, creativity, community, and purpose. And understand this, expanding your emotional world reduces dependency and strengthens balance, and your heart needs this right now because balance allows love to grow without pressure. And listen to this, as this stage unfolds, you may sense readiness to move forward with confidence, trusting that whatever unfolds next will support your highest good. And understand this, readiness is not about certainty, it is about courage. And courage moves destiny forward, and your heart needs this right now because destiny responds to aligned action. And listen closely, Part 5 concludes here intentionally, right as momentum solidifies and new pathways begin opening, because what follows will reveal how this alignment crystallizes into lasting direction, emotional fulfillment, and the next evolution of your soulmate journey. Remain steady as the sixth phase now guides you into the stage where clarity becomes commitment to your own growth and emotional sovereignty, and this message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe is asking you to step fully into ownership of your direction instead of waiting for circumstances to decide it for you. And listen closely, you may begin noticing a stronger sense of self-leadership emerging, where your choices feel intentional rather than reactive, and your actions reflect purpose instead of habit. And understand this, leadership over your own life begins with emotional responsibility, recognizing that your happiness, peace, and fulfillment are not dependent on another person's decisions. And your heart needs this right now because emotional independence creates strength, and strength attracts alignment. And listen to this. During this phase you may feel guided to make practical adjustments, such as changing daily routines, setting clearer priorities, or restructuring commitments that no longer serve your well-being. And understand this, practical action grounds spiritual awareness into reality, transforming insight into lived experience. And your heart needs this right now because embodiment is the bridge between intention and manifestation. And listen closely, as you embody this shift, you may experience a noticeable improvement in emotional regulation, responding to stress with calm focus instead of overwhelm, and approaching uncertainty with patience rather than anxiety. And understand this, emotional regulation builds resilience, and resilience allows you to navigate change without losing stability. And your heart needs this right now because stability supports long-term growth. And listen to this, you may also begin attracting different types of interactions, meeting people who reflect your maturity, engaging in conversations that feel meaningful, and encountering opportunities aligned with your evolving values. And understand this, alignment draws resonance, and resonance creates harmony. And your heart needs this right now because harmony fosters emotional security. And listen closely, during this stage you may feel inspired to strengthen your physical well-being as well, paying closer attention to rest, movement, nutrition, or energy levels. And understand this, physical care supports emotional balance, and emotional balance improves mental clarity. And your heart needs this right now because clarity guides wise decision-making. And listen to this, as you nurture your body and mind, you may feel more energized, more motivated, and more capable of pursuing goals that once felt distant, and understand this: vitality fuels progress, and progress builds confidence, and confidence reshapes identity, and your heart needs this right now because identity determines how you show up in relationships, career, and personal growth. And listen closely, during this phase you may also experience moments of reflection about your soulmate connection, seeing it through a lens of wisdom rather than longing, understanding what it taught you, how it shaped your growth, and what role it plays moving forward. And understand this: reflection transforms experience into insight, and insight creates freedom, and your heart needs this right now because freedom allows you to move forward without emotional baggage. And listen to this: you may also feel a renewed sense of autonomy, enjoying your own company, finding fulfillment in solitude, and using quiet moments for self-connection instead of distraction. And understand this: self-connection strengthens intuition, and intuition guides future decisions. And your heart needs this right now because inner guidance protects you from misalignment. And listen closely, during this phase you may notice that your standards for connection rise naturally, not from arrogance, but from self-respect, expecting honesty, consistency, and emotional presence rather than settling for uncertainty. And understand this: standards protect your emotional space, and protection creates safety, and your heart needs this right now because safety allows vulnerability to grow without fear. And listen to this: as vulnerability deepens, you may experience stronger emotional bonds with people who genuinely support your growth, creating relationships based on authenticity rather than convenience. And understand this: authenticity attracts authenticity. And your heart needs this right now because genuine connection brings peace, not confusion. And listen closely, during this stage you may also find yourself releasing comparison, no longer measuring your journey against others, trusting that your timeline is unique and guided. And understand this: comparison creates pressure, and pressure blocks joy. And your heart needs this right now because joy fuels creativity, and creativity enhances problem solving, and problem solving supports growth. And listen to this: you may also feel encouraged to set long-term goals that reflect your deeper values, such as stability, contribution, or meaningful impact, rather than chasing short-term validation. And understand this: value-driven goals create fulfillment, and fulfillment sustains motivation. And your heart needs this right now because sustained motivation leads to lasting success. And listen closely, during this phase you may also experience increased emotional intelligence, recognizing subtle feelings within yourself, understanding others' perspectives, and navigating disagreements with empathy instead of defensiveness. And understand this: emotional intelligence strengthens communication, and communication builds trust, and trust deepens connection. And your heart needs this right now because trust is essential for lasting partnerships. And listen to this: as your emotional maturity grows, you may find yourself responding to challenges with curiosity rather than resistance, seeing obstacles as opportunities to learn instead of reasons to retreat. And understand this: growth mindset expands possibility, and possibility invites innovation. And your heart needs this right now because innovation creates new pathways. And listen closely, you may also feel inspired to contribute positively to your environment, offering encouragement, mentorship, or kindness to others. And understand this: contribution expands purpose, and purpose gives life meaning. And your heart needs this right now because meaning supports emotional fulfillment. And listen to this: during this stage you may experience a deeper sense of gratitude, appreciating lessons learned, resilience built, and clarity gained. And understand this: gratitude shifts perspective from scarcity to abundance, and abundance attracts supportive experiences, and your heart needs this right now because supportive experiences strengthen alignment. And listen closely, as alignment deepens, you may feel a quiet confidence about the future, trusting that what unfolds next will align with your highest good, even if details remain unknown. And understand this, trust replaces fear, and fear limits growth, and your heart needs this right now because growth is your destiny. And listen to this, you may also experience moments of calm anticipation, sensing that something meaningful is approaching, not with anxiety, but with grounded expectation. And understand this, expectation shapes perception, and perception influences experience, and your heart needs this right now because positive outlook attracts positive outcomes. And listen closely, during this phase you may feel ready to embrace new beginnings, whether in love, career, or personal development, stepping forward with courage instead of hesitation. And understand this, courage transforms potential into reality. And your heart needs this right now because reality shaped by alignment brings fulfillment. And listen to this, as this sixth phase unfolds, you are no longer waiting for answers, you are becoming the answer through growth, self-leadership, and emotional stability. And understand this, this stage is preparing you for the final transformation where your soulmate story evolves into a larger life narrative rooted in purpose, balance, and conscious creation. And your heart needs this right now because what comes next will reveal how this journey culminates into clarity, closure, or new union aligned with your highest self. Remain present in this unfolding moment, because the seventh phase carries you into the season of integration, where everything you learned, healed, and strengthened begins blending into a new identity. And this message is for you, your heart needs this right now, because this is not about waiting anymore, it is about becoming. And listen closely, you may start noticing that your inner dialogue has changed. The way you speak to yourself feels kinder, steadier, more supportive, replacing self-doubt with encouragement and replacing fear with grounded confidence. And understand this, inner language shapes outer reality, and when your thoughts become aligned with self-worth, your life begins responding differently, opening doors that once felt closed, and creating opportunities that reflect your new emotional frequency. And your heart needs this right now because emotional frequency determines the quality of connections you attract. And listen to this, during this phase you may feel more comfortable standing in your truth, expressing needs without apology, sharing boundaries without guilt, and honoring your own feelings without minimizing them for the comfort of others. And understand this, honoring yourself is not selfishness, it is self-respect. And self-respect transforms relationship dynamics, encouraging others to meet you with equal maturity. And your heart needs this right now because mutual maturity is the foundation of stable love. And listen closely, you may also experience moments of clarity about your soulmate connection, seeing it with a balanced perspective rather than emotional fog, recognizing what it contributed to your growth and what it revealed about your emotional patterns. And understand this, perspective brings wisdom, and wisdom allows you to make choices that support long-term fulfillment instead of temporary comfort. And your heart needs this right now because long-term fulfillment is built on intentional decisions. And listen to this, as you integrate these lessons, you may notice your reactions becoming calmer, your responses more thoughtful, and your presence more grounded, allowing you to navigate conversations without emotional turbulence. And understand this, grounded presence creates safety, and safety invites honesty, and honesty deepens connection. And your heart needs this right now because depth creates meaning, and meaning brings satisfaction. And listen closely, during this stage you may also feel inspired to design a life that reflects your values, not just your desires, focusing on stability, growth, contribution, and personal integrity. And understand this, values act as a compass, guiding you toward decisions that align with your highest self, and your heart needs this right now because alignment prevents regret, and regret drains emotional energy. And listen to this. You may also notice a shift in how you handle setbacks, viewing them as feedback instead of failure, learning from experiences instead of internalizing disappointment. And understand this, resilience is built through perspective, and perspective transforms challenges into stepping stones, and your heart needs this right now because stepping stones create forward movement. And listen closely, as this phase unfolds, you may feel more connected to your intuition, sensing guidance through subtle feelings, spontaneous ideas, and quiet inner knowing. And understand this, intuition strengthens when you stop ignoring your inner voice, and your heart needs this right now because inner guidance protects you from repeating unhealthy cycles. And listen to this, during this stage you may also experience renewed motivation to pursue goals that once felt distant, such as creative projects, professional growth, or personal development. And understand this, motivation increases when emotional clutter clears. And your heart needs this right now because emotional clarity fuels ambition, and ambition drives progress. And listen closely, you may also find yourself creating healthier routines, prioritizing rest, movement, nourishment, and mental well-being, recognizing that self-care is not indulgence, it is maintenance for long-term success. And understand this, maintenance prevents burnout, and burnout blocks growth, and your heart needs this right now because sustainable growth requires balance. And listen to this, as balance strengthens, you may experience deeper appreciation for simple moments, enjoying quiet mornings, peaceful evenings, and small joys that once went unnoticed. And understand this, appreciation shifts focus from lack to abundance, and abundance attracts supportive experiences. And your heart needs this right now because supportive experiences reinforce alignment. And listen closely, during this phase you may also notice improved emotional communication, expressing yourself with clarity, listening with empathy, and resolving misunderstandings with patience rather than defensiveness. And understand this, communication mastery strengthens relationships across all areas of life, and your heart needs this right now because strong relationships provide emotional security. And listen to this, as emotional security grows, you may feel less attached to external validation, relying more on internal affirmation, personal standards, and self-trust. And understand this, self-trust builds independence, and independence allows love without losing identity. And your heart needs this right now because identity preservation is essential for healthy partnership. And listen closely, you may also experience a shift in your social environment, gravitating toward people who support growth, positivity, and authenticity, while naturally distancing from dynamics that drain energy. And understand this, environment influences mindset, and mindset shapes behavior. And your heart needs this right now because behavior determines outcomes. And listen to this, during this stage you may feel called to contribute positively to others' lives, offering encouragement, guidance, or compassion, using your experiences as tools for connection instead of sources of pain. And understand this, contribution expands purpose, and purpose gives life meaning. And your heart needs this right now because meaning supports emotional fulfillment. And listen closely, as fulfillment grows, you may sense a quiet confidence emerging, not loud or boastful, but steady and grounded, the kind that allows you to walk into new situations